doors. Oh, hey, what's
Ready? Please stand for pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you for being here and those watching on TV. Mayor's report. Start as always. Just hope everybody had a great holiday season. The family and so forth. Anyway, the only thing I really have is January 16th 's a legal holiday and the banks and everything are closed, but be advised that the city offices will be open. So your utility bills are due by 4:30 on January 16th to avoid a penalty. So just so you're aware, you can come here. Can't go to the banks, but you can come here. So. All right. City Administrator report.
Thank you. We're here midway through the year, and so the state statute requires that the December semi-annual financial statement be published in the local paper, and so you will see that next week in the AC. I've received a letter from Missouri Department of Revenue notifying all political subdivisions that the tax sale holidays, the Show Me Green, and the back to school sales tax holiday, which were in the past always optional, they are now mandatory statewide. We had always participated, but it required, like in January, we would be passing the ordinance for the Show Me Green, which is in April. So we will no longer have to process that paperwork. The whole state, it'll be statewide now. So, as you all know, over Christmas Eve morning actually, got a very ominous email from Ron Reagan, our gas consultant. He forwarded us the notice of operational flow order, which was rather scary concerning our pipeline. A pipeline up north had failed. Ron said that it was the first time in his career that the entire continental USA was below freezing. So it was putting a huge draw on gas anyway. What was helpful, that schools were out of session, and that because it was a holiday, a lot of businesses were closed. We did put out a notice on Facebook to the public, and I do think everybody cooperated with that and turned down their thermostats. I'm sure that was helpful. Had we received another level of warning, I was going to use our Code Red system, which to my knowledge we've never used yet, but it's that community alert system, which people would have had to sign up for to get alerts by email or by text message. So anyway, I'm going to learn more about that, and then we're going to push it a little bit more again to the public to get signed up, because it could be a very useful tool. And if people want to do that now, actually, they can. There's this symbol, this logo, this link at the very bottom of our homepage on our hermanmo.com website, and they can sign up anytime they'd like. But I think we're going to start pushing it out maybe through Facebook and some reminders again for people to sign up for that. Our generator, speaking of emergencies, last summer when the power, we had the power outage, the generator failed. And very serious because it runs dispatch. Also, we are considered a warming and cooling center. So the old generator, the repairman, he fixed it, but he said in the future it would be difficult to find parts because of the age. So Jesse's been doing a lot of looking, and used units are about half price of new, but they don't come with any kind of warranty. They do come with like this 30-point inspection or something. But he's looked a lot, we've discussed it a lot, and neither one of us are comfortable making a recommendation. So we just had a conversation with the mayor last week about hiring a consultant to give us a professional opinion, give us some options about new or used, the pros, the cons, capacity, and all those sorts of things. So would that suit you all for us to bring you back some professional opinions?
And one point on that, if we go with a new one, it's like 2 years out.
I misspoke. I'm sorry. It's I did tell you that it's 10 months out.
Oh, really?
Yes. So that might
That's way
be-
better.
That's way better, but I apologize, I did say
No,
two
that's
initially.
fine. Cool.
I am looking for funding options. I actually just spoke to the USDA today regarding their program called Rural Community Facilities, which they provide grants for such things as generators. But Herman's median household income was just $2,000 too high, and we're disqualified. So I'll keep looking though. Chief Walker and I met with Clyde Zelch, who is the Emergency Management Director for the county, just to discuss emergency preparedness type issues. And he does have some supplies strategically placed around the county, but he said the best way to be prepared is for every household to be prepared themselves. And so he is putting together a video. He said probably within the next couple of weeks, giving instructions on, you know, what kind of things you should have on hand, and he's going to be sending that out. And I told him that we would help him push out that information and market that so we can disseminate that in more broadly. He also is talking about forming bringing a federal training program here to the county called CERT, which is an acronym for Community Emergency Response Team. And it's in the event of a large-scale emergency or even like a missing person search or something like that, you have extra hands on deck who've been trained and vetted and all of that who could aid law enforcement in an emergency. So I thought that was good as well. Last thing I'll mention is that Quality Custom Molding, LLC from Lynn, Missouri is, I think the whole community knows by now that that's the company that is buying the Pretium property. I touched base with the owner, Mark Volmer, again today just to see if their transition timeline was still on target. He assured me that it was. They will be closing on that property the last week of March, and they will be moving in and coming online in phases April through June and be running normally in July. So I thought that was some good news as well.
Very good. Okay, we'll move on to public comments. Dolores Granman.
Thank you for allowing me to speak before you. I do have a handout, if that's okay for me to give to you guys. Might help you a little bit understand what I'm talking about, maybe. You're welcome. I'm here to discuss this evening your policy on space permits that you have. I did express my concerns regarding the MyFest and Oktoberfest were the only two events that were required to have a space permit. I did mention it to Trish at least 2 times. I also had talked to Susan Langer and Derek at the meeting we had in October regarding space permits that the, I guess, Brush and Pallet Club has to pay for the Oktoberfest. I just would like to read what I have just given you, if that's okay with you. It says, I am recommending the Board of Aldermen repeal City Code Section 615.070G requiring vendors during the MyFest and Oktoberfest to purchase a vendor space permit. You may want to review the entire chapter 615 of the City Code. It may no longer apply to what is happening in Herman today. You have special events and festivals all year long and I do not think you require any of these people to purchase a license to do business, nor do you require a space permit and fee. This only applies to the MyFest and Oktoberfest events. In 1984, the space permit requirement was put into ordinance when things in Herman were quite different than they are today. In 1984, the city had around 25,000 plus visitors during the MIFAS and Oktoberfest weekends and issued around 220 space permits per event at no charge. I do not think we have that influx of visitors in 1 week now. At that time, the city hired 30 police officers. Around 10 of those or more of those officers were hired to direct traffic only. I do not see that need today. In 1984, the city experienced vendors setting up and selling everywhere, and with a large crowd in Herman, there was a need to have some type of control over where people were selling due to safety issues. You are not treating all vendors who come to Herman equally. I can bring my van to Herman and get permission from a property owner to sell my wares and do not have to get a license or permit to do so as long as I don't sell more than 6 times a year. However, you are requiring the vendors during the MIFAS and Oktoberfest to purchase a space permit. This makes no sense to me. This is 2023 and not 1984, and I feel the Board of Aldermen should review City Code Chapter 615. And the last comment I have to make is City Code Section 615.80G. It states, there shall be no separate charge for the issuance of vendor space permits as provided in this chapter, etc., etc., etc. I did attach a copy of those sections of the ordinance that I have brought up. I thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you. Instead of getting into a deep discussion, and we have this, everybody look at it and kind of come back and see what we think. That's agreeable with everyone. Okay. Okay, number 2, Tom Kramer on the Fern Creek.
Apologize for my grass. I just got my truck unstuck on the farm. I didn't have time to do anything but change my coat.
You're fine.
I'm a recent citizen of Herman. I just moved in this month. And the first thing I noticed after I went into my new house, that laundry drain from my washer went directly into the basement drain, which I think goes into the stormwater system of the city's drainage. And I had noticed Freen Creek in the past. I was employed by the Conservation Department for 40 years, and part of that was investigation of water pollution problems and arrest and prosecution of pollution that caused fish kills. Luckily, in Freen Creek probably didn't cause a fish kill because it was a gradual buildup and burn all the fish out before they died, but same results. I took pictures of Freen Creek from the mouth all the way up to past the school. Everywhere it crosses a riffle, the phosphates in the creek are such great that it foams when it comes across the riffle. That means there's a lot of laundry detergent and other soaps going into the system. The bottom is covered with filamentous algae. It stinks. I went out of the city limits out to the first available crossing that I knew out at Adampuchta Winery. There it's a clear, pristine Ozark stream. In the city, it's a stinking sewer, and we ought to do something about it. I think we would be a bad example for any city in the state of Missouri to brag that we have a stinking sewer as a source of water pollution in a fair city. And that's my statement. I got pictures if you all want to see them. And I just think it's a problem, and I'd be very willing to change my drain to go into the sewage system rather than the stormwater system. I think everybody should do that. And I have talked to several people with older houses in Herman, and they all state that their laundry system goes into the stormwater rather than the sewer. Okay, that's my statement.
Anybody have any
Thank you
questions?
for your
real quick?
attention.
Where do you live?
Pardon me?
Where do you live?
West 7th Street, 614. I think I got that right. Better check my box.
I think so.
Well, Tom, what I think we'll have the city administrator contact the water department and investigate it and go from that point.
Very good, sir. I appreciate
Okay.
your interest in this. I hope we join us to get this matter cleared up.
All right,
So it was on West 7th?
that's where he lives
Yes.
now, yeah.
West 9th.
9,
9th, 7th,
416 West 9.
okay.
So my driver's license.
You can stay there because you're next, because you had a second one you had
Okay.
filled out here if you, on the
The
track.
second thing I learned as I paid my fees to the city is I had to pay to have trash picked up, and I don't have trash. In 40 years of working in conservation, and then later I volunteered to be on the Soil and Water Board of the Montgomery County where I was located as a resident. They elected me chairman after a while, and I served in that role until I got to be almost 80, and I decided that I'd given enough time back. In that time, I have carried a knife, fork, and spoon and a napkin with me everywhere, just to keep pollution out of the system, to use less of our precious resources anywhere. I don't expect everybody to do it, but it would sure be a plus if we all did that instead of using napkins, plastics particularly, to go back into the system. So I don't generate much trash. And when I do, I have another house in Montgomery County, which someday will probably be sold, but it has trash pickup. My farm is right across the river. I take most of the disposable stuff there that if I do generate the trash, and I don't see the need to pay Tri-County, a private contractor, to pick up my trash that is non-existent. I understand there's a city ordinance that all residents of the city have to pay, and I'd like a copy of that ordinance so I can study it and talk to my attorney about it. Thank you very much. That's all I have to say.
Okay, thank you. All right, we'll move on to ordinances. Dave, we're gonna postpone the first one because that survey thing isn't done or something.
Right. So then next would be bill number 2023-01 for first reading, an ordinance to approve a contract by and between the city of Herman, Missouri and the Lamar Advertising Company for a promotional billboard sign.
Any discussion, questions? If not, do I have a motion to approve?
I'll move to approve bill number 2023-01, first read.
Motion's made, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion's made and second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. We need to read that for a second time, please.
Bill number 2023-01, an ordinance to approve a contract by and between the city of Herman, Missouri and the Lamar Advertising Company for a promotional billboard sign.
Do I have a motion to approve second reading?
Move 2023-1, second read.
Motion's been made, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Motion's made and second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. With that, we will move on to old business. Any old business?
I have to ask, where are we at on the 69 KV lines?
Stuck?
Well, we're at the at the easement gathering stage. And so Jesse was going around and talking to all property owners and arranging for the necessary easements to assign to Central Electric. And is he down to 1 or 2 more that he needs, was my understanding, from property owners that are reluctant to give them. And so I'm speaking from old information, but I don't know if there's anything new other than that.
New movement.
So next is probably gonna have to be getting tougher with these couple property owners to.
Don't they
Yeah.
already have an easement on that, with that? I mean, if it's already there?
The one Central is requesting is wider
Oh, okay,
than what they've given the city.
I got you.
And, you know, a couple of these residents are pretty forward in requesting things from the city, so hopefully we can maybe negotiate something or get this done.
Okay. Any other old business? Any new business?
I would like to bring something up for potential for discussion for the board. It was brought to my attention by a resident there is no city ordinance for violating passing a school bus with the stop sign open, and I think it would give our police department a nice tool to make sure that this doesn't happen. But, you know, it's the potential of a tragedy of a child getting hit by a car. There is obviously a state statute, but the city of Herman actually has no ordinance.
Do we need one? Doesn't the state supersede?
Well, but we're talking about being able,
We write those through state, we can write a ticket to them, just like
Do
we
you
would
mind,
through
do you
city.
mind standing up?
We just write them through state court. I mean, we don't have an ordinance for a lot of things, like drive while revoked, no license, things of that nature, so we just write them through our state court. It's the same process, just issuing a summons. And we've issued a couple on that in the past.
I've noticed a few times, especially on Market Street where there is the turning lane, people will pass a stop school bus.
Yeah, the buses.
You can't follow them.
Yeah.
Obviously, you have to stop.
The buses are supposed to get us, when that happens, because they have video, they're supposed to get us the license plate number, and then we normally meet with the person that issuing the summons.
Okay.
That's some of the process we follow with the bus garage,
So as far as the city ordinance, that's not really a tool that the police departments would need? Or...
We're not lacking, no, I mean,
Okay.
yeah, we can still issue a summons, and it probably has I would say, probably a higher fine or something like that, probably through state court, so.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Any other new business? Okay, we'll move on to motions. I have a motion to approve minutes from the last meeting.
Move to approve.
Motion's been made, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Invoices for payment,
I will move that we pay the bills.
we're gonna pay the bills. I have a motion to pay the bills, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Motion made and second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Little League Baseball registration fee increase. Tim, would you like to come up and,
I sure can. Well, my name's Tim Kramer. I think I know most of you guys. So we've been running Little League for going on 4 years now. I think we're on 4 years. So we're coming up on baseball season again. The kind of reason I'm here is kind of slacked on this since Park Board didn't have a meeting in December. It kind of put us a month behind. So we were looking at the fees of what we charge and what we brought in last year. Where we came up last year on our profit was $3,620, which is pretty decent, but we're gonna have a lot of increases this year. We're looking to increase umpires' pay, field prep has to go up too, equipment went up, everything basically went up. And I'm pretty sure t-shirts went up too. We're gonna, if we stay where we were, we're gonna go in the hole. So what we were proposing, what the board went, we wanna go for $70 for the first kid to sign up, and then $60 for each additional player. And this is pretty much in line or cheaper than every other town we play against. So, if you got any questions? I can try to answer them all.
Do you maybe anticipate any of this, persuading a family to go play in New Haven?
No, we're same amount as New Haven, but New Haven doesn't offer a multiple discount, so if you have more than one kid, you're still saving $10 on kid.
All right.
And like Washington, we play against Washington, they are at 120 a kid. And then Marthasville, Dutso, I think they're at 80 a kid. So we're still pretty much cheaper than everybody else we're still playing with. We want to kind of keep it affordable, but still have money to grow the league.
Well, you have to have, have to have the money to operate.
Exactly.
Okay, so you need us to approve that, correct? Do I have any other discussion for questions? Do I have a motion to let them increase their fees?
I move to approve the increase.
Motion's been made, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? There you go, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next we have item D, approve the Youth League basketball bids on t-shirts from ARB Center, t-shirts and more pictures from Wilding photos. Any discussion on that? If not, do I have a motion to approve?
I'll move to approve.
Motion's been made, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. We want to hire Tim Schaefer as gas, water, wastewater operator.
Yes, that'll bring that department up to what we're considering fully staffed now, which is the 4 people.
Very good. Have a motion to approve, or to hire, excuse me.
Move to approve.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and second, all in favor aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Ratify hiring Gregory Monroe as a full-time police officer and James Briggs as a reserve officer. This brings our quota to full staff,
Yay.
finally. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve hiring.
Motion's made, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Motion made and second, all in favor aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. The annual Murma insurance renewal. Any questions on that one? If not, do I have a motion to approve the renewal?
I move to approve the renewal.
Motion's been made, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Motion made and second, all in favor aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Public transit license for A-Rods Transportation LLC DBA Herman Trolleys. I have a motion to approve that.
I'll move to approve.
Motion made, you're gonna second?
Second.
Motion made and second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Vehicle for hire license, A-Rods Transportation LLC DBA Herman Trolley. Do I have a motion to approve that?
Move to approve.
Motion made, do I have a second?
I will second that one.
Motion made and second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. No reports, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
I have a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you everyone for coming and watching.